And this dough is also easy to eat. So let's get right into the ingredients. The ingredients that you need are 7 grams of dry active yeast, 1.5 cups of warm to hot water, 500 grams of Lighthouse bread and pizza flour, a mixing bowl, and a measuring jug of any kind. So I have left my yeast here to sit and rest for 10 minutes, and it's now become really foamy, which is a really good sign. Otherwise the mixture will not, you can't really see it from the other side, but otherwise the mixture will not have properly set and the dough will not come together as well and not rise as well. So now, since you've got your yeast activated, carefully open up your flour and pour it into the mixing bowl. Remember not to sieve it. And just break it apart. Make a little well so you can easily pour in the yeast. Next, what you want to do is add some salt, so now that you have your flour in and you've made a well, add some salt, few crackles would be ideal. You could add more or add less, your preference. Now add all of your yeast. Try and get as much out as you can. And fold. You can use a wooden spoon or your hands. Either one is ideal. As soon as you start getting it all together, it will soon be ready to rest. Make sure while you're combining the flour and the yeast and the salt together that you are kneading it. So kneading, you just lift and push, incorporating the dough and developing the gluten. And our dough is now ready to rest. Now that you have made your dough, it should come out nice like this, maybe a bit rounder, and definitely a lot more bigger. Depending on how much flour you use, depends on how sticky or how big it becomes. So once you have a nice ball like this, place it onto a plate, like so, pat it down, sprinkle a tiny bit of flour on it. Plain flour will do nicely. Sprinkle a little bit on top so it doesn't stick to the towel, and stick it down at the bottom so it doesn't stick onto the plate. Using the flour on your hands, just scrape it off and put it onto the dough, sorry, and put the flour away. Now that you have done that, add a tea towel and let the dough rest so the dough can relax and develop more gluten, and so it becomes a lot bigger and a lot more flexible to use. So let that sit there for about 20 to 25 minutes. Or if you want it to increase in size, let it stay at room temperature for about 30 to 45 minutes. We'll check on it then. Okay, once you've let the dough rest for about half an hour to 45 minutes, it is now time to refold it and re-knead it. So what you want to do is gently take it off the plate, place it onto the... Okay, now that you have let your dough set and rest for the second time, knead it back up just to get that final gluten development. Now, grabbing a sharp knife, be careful, just equally divide the dough, roll it out, once you've got them all rolled up, what you're then going to have to do is roll out the dough using a rolling pin. Sprinkle a bit of flour on top as well as on the bench top. And stretch that dough. Remember, if you do make a tear, remember the dough is forgivable. You can just mend it back up. Remember to alternate positions. Do this until it fits the size of your plate. But until then, just keep rolling. And stretch out your dough just like what I've got. So there's excess hanging over, so in which case you can tear apart. And since the dough is really forgiving, take this off. And place it where the dough's thinnest. And get that incorporated back into the dough, so that way you're not losing any bit of flour or dough. Once that is completed, just try to stretch it out a bit more. And just be wary of the leftover bits. You actually don't need to roll it up. Place it back onto the dough and add it like so. Maybe just a wee bit thicker than the others, but at least you won't get any holes from your dough. Now that, my friends, is the end of today's video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss out on another cooking tutorial. Make sure you guys stay well, stay safe during these tough times, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.